Hey guys.
Welcome back to Life is Not a Real.
So you just got back from Korea.
Yeah, I'm on like a 1 hour delay. Kidding.
Grabbing a man jet lag.
Guys, like we're actually super sleepy and tired doing this episode, but
I'm not sleepy. I'm honestly just depressed. But like, I guess it's the same thing. I couldn't sleep. But I don't know. We're
You-
going to try our hardest because we used to have like episodes like banked so we could always like put one out. And now we're like on the edge of like
not having any. We've just been so busy, or like everyone's just had like a lot of things in their schedule. So
it's been really
finally-
hard. So we're really like doing one episode a week and
yeah,
like we
just-
have to cancel shit Monday, Tuesday. We gotta
we have to like make the time to like do more.
But no, I honestly think like traveling is always really fun. But I think, and I truly love to travel. I'm very grateful that I'm able to travel. But I feel like there's a lot of shit that always goes down that people never talk about. And so I feel like this episode we can sort of talk about the pros, the cons, places that we want to visit, places that I never want to go back again. So this is just like an episode about like traveling.
Like JK and traveling. I feel like a lot of people are also planning like their little vacations and stuff, especially during the holidays, December, January.
Yeah, I
New
just think, like,
Year's.
Especially like a lot of my friends that live abroad. Like you really only have Christmas break off. So that's the
Yeah.
time to really travel to any of our international girlies, if there are any watching. But wait, how was Korea? Like just the pros. No cons for that trip. This
I
is like your
always have
third
so
time
much
back this
fun.
year.
No, second time only.
Oh yeah, wait. We both
Oh,
the first time I
sorry,
didn't
like
go.
third time. Technically third time. Okay, because I went last New Year, so but then I went like in December, but then I did get back from there in January, so fine. I guess technically third.
Yeah, see, I told you.
I always love it there. It's so much fun. I feel like they're so easy to get to, like Korea and Japan. So like
Actually,
I think every
it's so
Filipino just
close.
loves going to like Tokyo or like Seoul.
I also your voice. I
have
also
no
think
voice
it's just
also.
I don't know. I think it's a lot. I loved Korea. So I went twice this year, once for Seoul Fashion Week and once with you and Pam and Mark and stuff. And that was really fun. But honestly, like Asian countries are so much cheaper to get to than frigging like local places here.
destinations. Like if you see like the flights, that's what everyone's talking about. Like if you get like a good like deal on an Asian destination flight, is a lot cheaper than booking like let's say going to Cebu, going to Davao, going to like all these
Siargao.
Boracay or whatever.
I've never been to Siargao, fun fact, and I don't plan on going
I've
until the
never
ticket
been.
prices go down.
I've
Also, I'm
never
just
been-
not into like I'm not
Also-
the island life is not for me.
You know, also people say it's even cheaper to go to Bali, like not just the flight, but like things like staying there, eating,
Yeah.
whatever.
The only thing
is
expensive about Bali is the
crazy.
alcohol, which like I guess that's my biggest expense.
You can buy in like the convenience
You can-
store or something.
No, it's so there's a tax. I love that. Like I'm not into law and stuff, but like I know.
Well, you know, like the little taxes and no, but yeah, like I feel like Bali is so into taxing. I remember like when I went to Bali for Pami's sister's wedding. Pami's like one of my best friends. Her sister got married in Bali. Like even arriving into Bali, I had to fill out a thing and like pay on my card like a little like tourist tax just to enter, something like that.
They love
like
a good
preserve
tax.
to preserve like the beauty of Bali or something.
Okay. But no, like what did you do? Like
You know what?
you
This,
find
like,
that you do
time-
different things, like now that you've been
Each-
back so
each
many
visit,
times?
yeah.
Or is it just the same shit, different day?
No, this trip was a little different because we wanted to not plan anything, like at all.
I'm pretty
So
sure you
everything
planned
was super-
restaurants.
No, not even. Like we had restaurants in mind, but we like reserved 0 things like before the
Oh,
trip.
good for you.
So everything was just like, oh, maybe we could reserve for tomorrow. Maybe we could do this tomorrow. We wanted to be a little bit more spontaneous, also because we were a little busy before the trip. So then everyone was just like, you know, like there were 3 of us that went on the trip. We're all like, okay, it's not our first time in Seoul, so we kind of don't care. Like we just want to have fun. We want to relax. We want to do whatever we want. We don't want to like need to wake up too early or be pressured with like a schedule itinerary. So we just wanted to like sort of wing it.
That's
is
really
also
fun though. I like
fun.
that.
There's no pressure.
Are you so you're like a planner, I assume.
Me, I think if like time is limited, if it's like a place that I haven't gone to a lot, then I sort of want to have like a few things on my agenda. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I
like
think
as
you
were
need
saying,
one
restaurants.
friend.
Like that's
Yeah.
always me. Like I'm such a like, oh, I just wanna like book restaurants and then plan around it.
I feel like you need that one friend in the group that's willing to plan. Because I'm a type, like I'll ask for recommendations and not look at one recommendation or not do my research. Like people send me like, oh, I'm gonna curate a whole list. They spend like an hour like working on it. And then I'm like, okay, thank you.
It's
And
like
then,
a little database.
yeah, and they're like, did you go anywhere? I'm like,
Okay,
like,
if I ask
no.
honestly, if I ask for recommendations, I try to at least go to one thing because I feel bad because they're gonna be like, why did I send everything? They didn't go to a single thing.
I feel bad, but I think I'm realizing now that I'm like, I started like the whole I can't even say the spontaneity of it, you know? Like I feel like I'm a Virgo, so I'm allegedly like a planner. And I think in Manila and with my work and everything, I'm very much like, okay, I have a set schedule. I don't want to be late. And I think on vacation, it's nice to just relax. Well, my version of relaxing is not like I'm not the type person to go to the beach and sit down, read a book. That's not me. But I like relaxing in my own way. Like I love a good city. I love to walk around. I love to see what locals are doing. And I think that way you sort of see a different side to the city. You know, you're not going off of trends. You're not going off of like what's popular on TikTok. Because I always get disappointed when someone's like, this is the best sandwich in Milan. And you go there and it's like,
I feel like it's so objective also. Like if someone says it's the best thing, like don't expect it to be the best thing because you might not be into it.
I feel like when I say it's the best thing, it's really the best thing because I don't
It's
really
the best
like
thing for
shit.
you. But then some people might
My
not have like, the
opinion's
same
so good.
taste or the same, you know. Side note, the most disappointing place in Seoul is the freaking Starfield Library.
Oh my
It's
God.
so small. It's like not even big.
The last time I was there, we were shopping in a mall. I think we had like dinner for some reason. Oh, it was after my show. My Seoul
Yeah.
Fashion Week show. I was with my manager Therese and the designer and stuff. And we walk around the mall and we're like, is that the fucking library? Like it's not, it's literally in the middle of the mall. Like it's not
Yeah,
cute.
I think I don't even know why people make it such a photo spot or even like film things there.
I think because people just don't.
'Cause there's so many nicer.
I think the
places.
people that think it's a photo spot are the ones that don't read. Because like if you go to a normal library, there's like New York has nice ones. There's so many other ones.
It's
I
so
feel like people are just
funny.
trying to be like, look, guys, I read. Like trying to add like
Yeah, but it's like in the middle
Poggy
of the mall. Like no
points,
one
like-
actually reads there because it's a little chaotic and everyone's
it's so
taking
loud.
pictures in the
It's a
escalator.
little ridiculous. But no, like I think a really fun thing to talk about also is like traveling with friends.
It's such a random.
Because I just feel like the true testament to like a good friendship is whether you can like travel with them. Because I think when you're at home or you're in like wherever you live, I feel like you feel safe. You feel like you're in your comfort zone.
Yeah.
You know? But I think traveling, and this is why I love traveling. It's because I feel like you get to learn a lot about yourself, about the culture of the country you're in, but also with the people you're traveling with. And I feel like I've had a lot of like, I don't really fight. Okay, I fight with like strangers and people I hate, but I don't fight with my friends here. Like I'm just not a fighter. Like I don't really argue much. But when I travel, shit goes down. Like I feel like
It's also because like imagine like sharing a little space with them for how many days that you don't always do that when you're here in Manila or almost never. And yeah, it's just being in a different country.
It's a good
and,
testament,
Like, you're with
you
them
know?
24/7. Just because you're really, really good friends at home doesn't always mean you guys are like compatible
Oh
as
my
travel
God.
buddies.
I have so many experiences when I've gone.
You discover new
traveling.
things about them.
And it's always the bad. It's never the good. Like I have so many experiences where I've gone on a trip and I've just like, not that it ended the friendship, but I like realized that like I'm glad I found that out because maybe I can't be as close to that person as I thought I could.
It's like you
because
can't
of
see them the same way anymore.
Like
But I
so
did
many-
have like a friendship over trip story.
do it.
But also it's like this is, I feel if you discovered about a person outside of the trip, it'll also be a friendship over situation. But basically, like this friend of ours in college, like turned out to be a klepto. And so people in the trip were losing things because like our rooms were like all connected, and then so she would like, obviously we're all having fun, so we'd always like jump from one room to another, getting ready. Like this was in Hong Kong, and like a girl would lose like makeup, a guy would lose like earphones. I lost money, so yeah, we all found out. We all found out it was her. Actually, she's not in Manila anymore. She's like in like Europe. Like she's based in Europe now. I'm not even saying
She's
the
now
country.
stealing.
Like,
She's
no.
now
She's not
stealing in Europe.
She's stealing from European friends. I don't know. No. Oh my God. No. I realize now I have so many friends that are in Europe now. No. She's not in Paris.
Guys, go on Gabbie's
She's
following.
not in Paris. She's not in Paris. She's not in France.
It's not Emily.
No, she's not in France.
Now, what experiences do I have?
I still follow her though, but like, we're not
You don't
friends
follow a
now.
lot. Oh no, like I had one. So I went on a Euro trip with my 4 best friends after college, and like I'm a pretty chill traveler. I just don't like my time being wasted. This is like an unpopular opinion, but I think when I'm traveling, like yes, I want to relax, but I relax by doing stuff outside of my normal life. So when I travel, I actually prefer, like, I like a stacked schedule.
You mean like a lot?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I want to
plan.
wake up like in the morning, like not at the crack of dawn. Like I want to wake up, have a breakfast, go out and do stuff. Like I don't like wasting
Liam
time.
actually does a lot because I remember like when we went to Seoul. So the trip was sort of like a merge trip. So I was with like one of my best friends, and then Liam and Pam also came. But then because we sort of booked separately, we were in different hotels, but around the same area. And I remember like I would wake up late, but then Liam and Pam would already like, oh yeah, we already went to like Cafe Onion and
like
everything.
20 different
like, love it.
places. And it's like, okay, I'll come back and get you at like 2 p.m.
Yeah, because I start my day in like lunch.
I can't do that. I don't know. I just like, when I travel, like I really want to see as much as I can. One thing I also learned. Also, I forgot what we were supposed to talk about. I got off tangent, but just disregard whatever I said, Kanina.
About Europe.
I'm over it.
What? I wanted to know about it.
Oh no, like
Is it about
I was
someone,
with my
a friend?
4 best friends. We were like the dynamic quadruple? No, what is
Quadruple?
it? What is it? What's 4?
Quadruple.
Quadruple? Yeah. In college, in high school, we went on a trip, and like, how do I explain this? Like, this person, I love her to death still, but like, she's a little too chill. She's very slow, and in high school, it doesn't really matter because you're just fucking going to school and shit. Like, it doesn't really matter. But on a trip, so me and my friend number 1, we'd be like wazing everywhere or whatever, mapsing we're in front. My second friend would be like, let's say 20 meters behind us, just like looking around. Girl number 4, like 30 meters behind girl number 2. We missed buses. We missed trains. We missed everything because this girl was so frigging slow. And we'd walk out, be like, okay, we're on the way to this, like, another city. Oh, I left my passport somewhere.
Oh my God.
We'd have to go back. And like, I know, I saw her different. Now we're chill. Like, I love her and everything. But like little things like this make you realize that like when you go out of your comfort zone, whether traveling or honestly anything, you really start to see people differently.
Yeah.
And as a psychoanalyzer, it's honestly very interesting.
You also get really like, I feel like in the bigger scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal in like friendship wise. But then obviously you're not gonna travel with her again. It's just, you know what I mean? It's just that there's like a compatibility issue. Like
Yeah.
obviously they're not a bad person.
No, they're not a bad
It's
person,
just
but
like
it's
you
just
guys
like
aren't compatible to travel together.
Exactly.
Because like those are the things that'll set you off. I feel like also some people are so chill, but then when you're traveling in a group, that's when it affects like the dynamic and it affects everyone's plans. So sometimes that's when you realize like, oh my gosh, like why can't people be a little bit more sensitive? Because then I always feel like, you know, I sort of know like now the kinds of people that I'm traveling with. So I know with like, okay, this group is gonna be a group that's more like on the go and wants to do a lot of things.
You need to
Then I
find the
sort of
people
need to
that
step
have
up
the
and,
same travel
you
style
know,
as
I sort of
you.
need to step up and like, you know, I'll wake up earlier, I'll do this, I'll be more prepared. But if I'm with a group that I know is so chill, then, you know, that's when I'm like, okay, let me not plan things because I know I'm going to be a bit disappointed if everyone just wants
Yeah.
to be chill.
I think traveling is all about compromise as well. I think.
Yeah, as a group, if you're traveling like with friends, you
But
need to compromise for sure.
What do you think is the perfect maximum number of people to travel with?
Okay, not that it's the maximum ceiling ever, but like super comfortable. Honestly, the best is like 3. Like 3 is already pushing it because I would say the perfect one is just 2 people.
Yeah, no,
No, it's
I
easy.
agree.
Like just your one bestie. But
'Cause
3 if someone's like,
I
if
find
their
that
third
there's
person is, like,
always
just
one
letting you guys do
person.
everything.
If it's 3, there's always one person getting bullied. There's the one person like fighting. There's one person that like wants to do something and the other 2 don't want to do it.
Yeah.
That's why I think just traveling with one person is so much easier.
No, yeah, that's the best thing. Like traveling with like your bestie or whoever, like just like the 2 of you. I'd say that's the best one. But oh my gosh, I've actually done like 10 or like 12.
Well, if it's like a Bali, if it's like a beach trip where you're just like drinking all day, a big group is fine. But
No,
if
but-
you're doing a city, if you're doing like
Wait, that's like
a
literally
Europe
stressful.
or something,
10 to 12 is literally stressful. Like it's easier to do
there's
like
always
the beach
one
chill
person
thing,
that
but even
complains because they
then-
don't want to do the
Even
things
then,
that
there
the whole
was
group
like a
wanna
little
do.
conflict, even in Bali. So it's just like, I don't know. I feel like big group is so hard. And that was like a birthday trip for me. So I sort of like brought all like, you know, my favorite people to Bali.
You should have been
and-
like a Big Brother moment, like you were kicked out.
You were kicked out of the
house.
villa. No, but like it's so hard. Like 10 to 12, like a big group, because there's no way that those like 10 people all want to do the same things.
And that's why like you can have a bigger group, but I also think like just make sure that you separate people where like, okay, like these people want to do this. These people want to do this. Just
Yeah,
make
we
sure
sort of
that
do that.
someone,
We're like, you know what? If like half of the people want to go day drinking, but half the other people want to go shopping, that's fine.
I'm like, I'm gonna day drink and then spend all my money on shopping.
Yeah.
After I'm drunk. So I'm like both.
Like we can have like a lot of little side trips in the big group. You can't expect everyone to be doing the same thing all the time, and then just meet up for dinner after, something like that.
Yeah. I just think like traveling can be very lonely. You know, like being out of your
I
comfort
don't know how
zone.
to travel
is-
alone, but some people say it's the best thing
No,
ever.
but even traveling like with people, you're out of your comfort zone. Like everything is new, especially with like transportation, language barriers. It's very, very hard. So you really need to find that perfect group of people that because like
Yeah.
I've had trips ruined just because of the people I was with. You know? Like as someone that's like very low maintenance, like I can get ready in 5 minutes, and even if I've had like 1 hour of sleep, 0, I can get up and be like, I'll suck it up. There's some people that like the girlies, like a full glam girly every day. It'll take them 3 hours to get ready.
Actually, I don't
And I
really
can't
mind
do
if
that.
like people take long to get ready. Because like me, I'm not the quickest. I'm definitely not 3 hours, but I'm not the quickest because like I want to like blow dry my hair and everything. But I make sure to sort of like wake up a bit earlier than everyone else when we have like a designated time. You know, like we want to start our day at this time. Then I'll alarm a bit earlier so that I have time to prepare because I don't want people to wait on me.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I'm always waiting for people just because I feel like I wake up early. Plus, I get ready in 5
Yeah.
minutes.
But then at the same time, there are also times when, you know, we're in a group and people take a bit longer and they always say like, you know,
Just go
don't feel
ahead.
bad. Like go ahead, like have a coffee without us and then we'll bump into you wherever. And I think that's fine. The problem always boils down to like, there's sort of some people that always want to be all together all the time and be like, let's all do everything together. And like, that's just never going to happen.
Well, I think now that I'm more comfortable traveling, well, not to do it alone, I feel like it's fine, like splitting up, you know, like
Yeah.
there's also some sort of like just walking around and like doing things with just one person, like and problem solving. It's sort of fun and rewarding in a way.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just have to get out of that safety net and be like, you know what? I'm old enough to sort of do it on my own or with one person, you know? Would you have any like funny like travel stories or like
What's like a funny travel story?
Well, I don't have one. Well, I'm
There's like
thinking about
none off the
mine,
top
so
of my
that's why
head.
I
I'm
asked
literally
first.
thinking of mine. Wait, oh my god, I do have a funny one that I
thought
shared
of one also.
recently. But then it's like when I took the train going to the outlet outside of Paris, and I thought I was so good because I took the right train. And I did take the right train. It's just that the train wasn't going the right direction. Like it literally went to like the sheds, like parking of the train. Like I
I've
was
done
in the
that.
train and then
I've done that. Even in
what?
New York.
Like I've been the train and then it literally parked and then the lights started to close and then I was just like alone in the train. I was like, what's happening? And I had to press the emergency like for the door to open and then I had to walk on the tracks, on the side of the tracks back to the
That could
station.
have been a cute photo though.
And the tracks and then like people in the station were like, what's going on? This weird little Asian coming from like the tracks of the train.
In like this.
And, like, it's so
like
weird. And then I got on the right train after. But it was just the funniest
I did
ever. But it
that.
was kind of scary when it was happening.
I don't know if I'll get bullied for this story. Well, probably, but you know what? I'm used to it. So again, the same Euro trip, same girly. So I've been to Paris multiple times. So like the Louvre was not on my like list.
Yeah.
But one of my other friends, I was like, you know what? I think since you're here and I don't know the next time you're going to Paris, like I'll do a bunch of like touristy things with you. I'll go to the fucking Louvre. And she's like, I only want to see the Mona Lisa. I'm like, okay, we're compatible to travel because I don't want to spend. The Louvre is not that
Yeah.
great. The Louvre doesn't have the best art. It's a lot of like old shit. It's not the cutest thing. The other girlie, and again, it's really no slander. I hope she doesn't watch this. I really love her. But she's like, oh my God, the Louvre. Like, I could spend the whole day there. She really meant it. Like, she can, like, every time we go somewhere, she reads, like, the whole description of every painting.
Oh my god, this
So
could
we
take
really-
forever.
And when she meant, I'll spend the whole day there, like, it was, like, very much like it's gonna be a full day situation. And I wanted my Chipotle fix for the day. So I was like, there's no fucking way I'm staying in the Louvre the whole day. We made her wait outside.
Wait, what?
She stayed outside. But honestly, she was like, I get it. And I'm like, okay, like, you get,
Yeah.
I'll pay for your Chipotle. Girl. Like, so I don't think that's mean, but I think, like, it's good to have boundaries sometimes, you know? And literally, we are in and out in 20 minutes. We
You also
ran.
can't expect people to wait for you like the whole day.
Yeah. And maybe we were a little younger. So, like, we were still trying to figure it out. But I think by the end of the trip, we all understood each other more. And we were like, okay, we now get
What
that.
everyone's vibe is about.
Exactly. And how to, like, cater to everyone's needs. Because it was, like, fresh out of high school. Like, I'd done traveling, but more with family.
Yeah.
So it was, like, a little stressful. But no, it was super worth it. But do you have any, like, favorite destinations or places you want to go or places you don't want to go back to?
Places I don't want to go back to. I'm actually trying to think if there are any.
What
Because I
places
don't
do
think
I
of
hate?
anything. But there's just like, there's places that I'm like, oh,
I don't think I
feel
have
like
to go back to Poland.
I've never been actually.
Middle of the winter, I went to Krakow. That's in Poland, right?
Yeah.
I think so. Went to Krakow. I think Switzerland's very beautiful. I don't know if I'll be going back anytime soon. I also lived there for like a year.
Yeah, that's why. But then like,
And like,
it's definitely like a destination for like
Yeah.
people.
I don't know. I think now that I'm older and I'm working more and I don't really have as much time to travel, I really think like I'm okay skipping out on a trip if I don't think it's going to be worth my while, worth my money, worth my time. Because I can't just take off like
Yeah.
a few weeks, you know?
Also,
So-
but I also have to say, like, I know some people love to travel with like a bucket list where they're like, oh, I want to visit like as many countries as possible, as many cities. But then me, I'm just like, no, like I just want to go back to all the places that I love.
So I don't want to go to
I
Russia
mean, but there's
though.
also places that like I've actually been to Russia. I went to Russia like 20, I don't know if it's 16 or 2017 with my family. And it's like, I wouldn't go back again, but
No, but it's
I want to
it's
go
like
back.
a
But
cool
it's an
bucket
experience.
list.
Yeah. It's definitely a bucket list. There are bucket list places, and that's what I mean. Like, oh, they're bucket list places, but then I also still want to keep going back to places that I just love going to,
You know what place I
rather
fucking
than
love?
like have a bucket list.
And this is like,
tick
I've heard
everything
a
off.
lot of people agree with me and a lot of people disagree. One of my favorite places in the world for some weird fucking reason. And it's not because I want a Lizzie McGuire moment, but I fucking love
Rome?
Rome. I love Rome.
I love
I
Rome
think
for
the
like
food-
the carbonara.
The food is so much better than I think Florence, Milan. Like I think Rome's food, if you find the right place. And it's weird because it's such a touristy city. The food is so fucking good.
I'm there for the carbonara.
What's so weird was again the same Euro trip. We found this place called Cul-de-sac, and it had the best burrata and whatever. And I was like, oh, this is good, but I think we can find better.
Yeah.
And my friends were like, no, Liam, we have to go back. It's the best. And it's like, let's find better. We never fucking found better.
That's sad.
Lorene, Oi, and Miggy were there like on their honeymoon. And they posted food, but they didn't really post anything about like a name of a restaurant. And Lorene fucking posted about the restaurant.
Cul-de-sac.
And I was like, what the fuck? This
The
is
best
so random.
burrata.
I was like, this is so random. I'm like, I have to go back to Rome now to cul-de-sac. I feel like that was just a sign.
Yeah.
And I usually don't admit when I'm wrong. And I fully take
You're like,
the
now you're
blame.
like, no, I was
I'm
wrong.
like,
There's nothing better
I
than
was too
cul-de-sac.
wrong.
No, but it's true. Like also when I'm there, it's like I want to keep eating like the stuff that I love, but at the same time, I'm like, what if there is better? And I want to try new places. But then what can you do? Like that's always me in Tokyo. I don't try new places anymore. I always just end up going to like the same ones that I remember loving.
But I feel like if that makes you happy, there's nothing wrong
there's
with
nothing
that,
wrong
you
with
know?
it.
Like, I love going back to the same places because then you feel like, I don't know, I just feel like it's more comfortable. And traveling is not like, I don't know what I was saying. Like, sometimes traveling isn't comfortable, but sometimes, like, if you've been to a place, you just want to do the same shit. And even, like, when I live in, like, Manila, I do the same shit and I'm perfectly content with going to the same restaurants.
Yeah.
Hang out with the same people. Like, I don't feel the need to do more. And that's the same with traveling. Like, the first time you get over and done with, and then you sort of figure out what you like and what you don't like.
Yeah.
And if I'm there for a short period of time, maybe I don't want to like experience new things because I know that the things I'm going to and the things I'm eating are already good. You know?
I just want like a variety. You know what I mean? Like whenever I'm traveling, like I don't want to be eating like the same thing all the time.
Oh my god,
But
I
I
can
wanna,
eat the
like,
same
do
thing
whatever.
every day.
Like people are always saying, oh, you're either like an actual fine dining person or a street food. But like when I'm traveling, I do both. You know what I mean? Like I just sort of want to do everything.
I
But
go
like
a little crazy and get obsessed. Like I went to Barcelona with my two friends once, and the Barcelona food is fucking amazing.
I
You know?
love Barcelona food.
There's really like I'm not a big Spanish food eater like in the Philippines, but I think because the ingredients are just so fresh in Spain and like everything's just a lot more authentic. I
love
love
Spanish
Spanish
food.
food, but I don't know. I was living in Switzerland at the time, and I guess I really missed like rice, which I don't really eat here.
yeah.
But I guess like after a long period of time, like you miss like Asian food. And I don't really like Asian food, but I like fake Asian food. And so Walk to Walk. Like it's this orange logo. They just like you create your own walk, like Chipotle, and like they mix it up. I went to Barcelona for 3 days and I ate it breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I super miss
And my
Asian
friends
food
thought I was
though,
fucking
in, like,
crazy.
Europe.
And I'm like, you guys can go eat your fucking paella. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna eat my Walk to Walk and we can meet up later. And they're like, okay. And I tell people this, they're like, oh wow, Liam, like I'm sure you ate it every meal. I ate it every meal.
We had like a
3
similar
meals a day.
like walk to walk thing in like Lille. So now I'm studying in Lille, but I don't remember. It wasn't called walk to walk. But it was like the one
The Walk
Asian
to Walk
thing.
is the best fucking thing ever.
It was the one Asian like restaurant or whatever in Lille. But I was super sad because it's not that good.
Yeah, I was visiting my friend in Melbourne. This is like right before the pandemic. And I Googled, I was like, oh my God, there's a Walk to Walk. There's just something about the sauces and the way they make it in front of you. And it's just the best fucking shit ever. Not sponsored, but you
Not
can
sponsored
sponsor
by Walk
me.
to Walk.
I hate X deals. I'll fucking do an X deal. I
But
spend too much money there.
I love Barcelona food. So there's
Yeah.
like this when I was in Barcelona like a few years ago. I was with Erica, my friend Erica, and we were also traveling like with other friends. Actually, no, we were visiting them because they were on internship in Barcelona. And that friend of ours is like very religious, and she was gonna go to church. I'm not Catholic. Erica's not religious, so we're like, what are we gonna do? Beside the church was a little Pinchos restaurant. We're like, okay, just leave us here while you go to mass. And then like so we had like this stack of like all our sticks of all our pincho sticks that like they're gonna like see how many sticks, count how many sticks you ate.
It's giving
before
you're
you
going to have a
pay.
heart attack.
And then like when she after
Girl.
mass, she was like, "How did you accumulate that many sticks in like an hour?"
They're small for a reason.
I can like munch on the pinchos nonstop, like if I'm not paying attention.
Oh my God.
I want to go back to Spain now. I want to eat.
Getting hungry.
Yeah, I'm actually getting hungry. Like I would eat
Is
like
Lila's Lay's box still
like we're in Manila. We're in Manila, but I'll just have like a bar pinchos or something. Like
No, now I'm thinking like when I get hungry, my mind goes to the worst places. Now I'm thinking like Shakey's thin crust.
oh my gosh, side note, I'm like saying bar
Pizza!
pinchos, but then like my favorite like life hack is that bar pinchos is on happy hour from 2 to 5 every day.
Mhm.
Not every day, I think like weekdays or whatever, but then they just don't display it. They never display it. You need to ask the waiter, eat there. Everything is 20% off, literally everything on the
And I'm
menu.
pretty sure if
But
you,
you need
have,
to
is
tell
it
them-
like
if
a
you don't-
BDO thing
If you
or
don't
something?
tell them, if you
They
don't
also
tell them,
have,
you
like, a
don't get your
promo.
20% off. So you need to tell them like, oh, aren't you happy hour now? And then they'll give you 20% off your whole bill. 2 to 5, any location.
That has to be on the TikTok.
It's
We're
literally my hack.
finally giving like real knowledge,
No, but
guys.
it's so
This
funny
is like
'cause every
an
time-
actual hack. Like
Every
I
time
don't
my
think anyone has ever learned anything. Even I've learned something, so I'm very
every time
happy
a friend
about that.
invites me to like lunch or dinner at Bar Pinchos. So if it's lunch, I'm like, can we do late lunch like 2:00? Or if it's dinner, can we do early dinner like around before 5 or 5ish?
Just to make
it's
the happy
20%
hour.
off everything.
Because like when you get pinchos, or like not just at bar, just like in general, it's like, oh, it's very cheap. And then you order 50 things and it's like the bill ends
It
up being
adds
more
up.
expensive.
And then you order sangria, then it adds up.
And it just like washes down well.
Yeah.
Like the sangria just really helps.
What are some of your favorite destinations ever? So my old dream destination, it's not no longer my dream because I've gone there, was Marrakesh. And I know like some people are like, it doesn't seem that nice, but I don't know. I just super love it. It was just such a different vibe. I had
I
so
really
much
liked
fun.
Morocco.
It's so pretty. And I went there on my birthday, so it was super special to me.
Well, I love LA and New York. I also like I'm realizing now that like I've hit a lot of my bucket list places. And like I'm really not like culture's cool, but I really want to like go somewhere where that fits my personal vibe, my style. So I love a big city.
Yeah.
Not Toronto. Fucking horrible.
I always love like
no,
a
okay,
destination
I
where you
visited
can
a friend,
dress up.
but I love it in LA. I love it in New York. Well, maybe because I lived in LA before. But honestly, I'm so content now. Maybe I just like know what I want. And I don't need to do all the museums. Like wherever there's a Chipotle, I will be. I love Paris. Like anywhere with good fashion. Well, I've traveled quite a lot actually the last 2 years. And my favorite destinations have been places where like there's a different sense of fashion. So I come back and like I see my like fashion sense also changing.
What's like a city that you can keep going back to or like be there for like a long periods of time and you're like, I don't care how many times I go here. I always like there's never enough time like to do everything that I want to do when I'm here because it's so much fun.
Paris, I think. I was there like last year for like a week. But I also think now that I have a lot of local friends, like I think meeting locals is super fun. And you get to do normal things. Like now when I travel, like I skip all the tourist destinations. Like
Yeah.
you happen to see them when you're walking around, but I want to know where the locals are going. Like I just want to eat, I want to vibe, I want to
It's
shop.
always fun to have like local friends or like friends who ended up moving there because you really get to discover so much more about the city. And those are the places that like I tend to go back to. Like the places where like,
Yeah.
you know someone.
I'm trying to think of other places. I love Nice, and I'm not a beach person. I love the Amalfi Coast, but there's something about like
Just being there. Like it's not like you're swimming. You're just
that's like a chiller
vibing around.
destination that I would like
Yeah.
go to.
I love Tokyo. Like I can
I've
be there
never
like 2 weeks
been.
at a time. And people always find it weird. They're like, why were you in Tokyo? Like only Tokyo, like you didn't go anywhere else. Like for 2 weeks, like what did you do? And I'm like, girl, I was there for 2 weeks, but it still wasn't enough time. There's just so much to do there all the time. And there's new things popping up all the time.
I
It's
really
so
wanna
much
go to
fun. And
Tokyo.
you don't always
Also for
have
their
to eat Japanese
fashion.
food. Do you know that the pizza scene in Tokyo is amazing? Like really
Wait, talk
good.
about your pizza now. I know you've been waiting.
Which one?
Your
The one in
favorite.
Mandarin. Pizza in Mandarin is the best. It's
No,
like
the
Pizza
other
Bar in
one.
30th. It's the best
Is that-
ever.
It's in the Mandarin.
Yeah, it's in the Mandarin.
Every time.
But now people are so into
Gabbie can bring up this pizza, and I'm like, I'm so content with like shakies.
it's
like,
a
I'm
pizza
very chill.
omakase. So it was like an omakase menu, like pizza. And it's amazing.
I love to carbo load, honestly. That would
It's
be
so
fun.
good.
No, that's Japan's definitely on my bucket list.
There's this other pizza place that my friend took me to the last time I was there for like Eras tour. It's also one of the best ones, but I still love the other one more. But it's really good, and I've noticed a lot of Filipinos have been going to this other one. What's it called? Pizza something. Pizza with a M. Pizza.
Pizza Zulu.
Pizza Marumo. It's called Pizza Marumo. And it's also really good. But yeah, people are like, why are you eating pizza in Tokyo? Just so you know, like some of the best pizzas in Asia are in Tokyo. Like they produce like the best pizzaiolos.
I have a shoot at 11. Well, it's 10:40, so I'm going to be late. This is due to traffic. I'm usually on time. But I'm going to request if they can get shakies.
What's your favorite Shakey's flavor?
So it used to be Hawaiian. And yes, I'm a
I
Hawaiian
love all
person.
pizzas.
Like, I don't give a
Pineapples.
fuck what you say. I love, like, I don't know, I love grapes. I love pineapple. Like, on pizza, salads,
Mhm.
anything. I love that little added sweetness, sourness, whatever. But right now, they're like thin crust cheese. It's just hitting very different.
Do you get cheese or like cheese and garlic? Isn't there like a garlic cheese
I
flavor?
love the cheese. And also, the cheese is always on sale. Like, it's always,
Sale?
not sale, like discount or whatever, on Grab.
Do you have the Shaky Super Card?
I don't-
Are you a Shaky Super Card holder? You get the 1 liter of Coke when you order.
Yeah.
But I don't drink
No,
soda, so I
I
always
don't
just
drink
like
soda either.
let
I only
everyone
drink
else
soda
drink
with
it.
alcohol.
Yeah, as a mixer. You know
Yeah.
what I love in Shakey's? The Friday special with like the shrimp and the anchovy. I'm obsessed.
Well, I don't eat seafood and I have gout, so I feel
But
like
when
that
I was
would
in
literally
college-
put me into an attack.
My fun shaky story was when I was in college. I love ordering shakies when I was in Ateneo. So I'd sit in like JSEC, if you guys know about Ateneo, and it's so hot there because it's like there's no aircon. Then I'd make an excuse to go to the computer room in the library, but I'm not using the computer for like studying. I'm using the computer to order shakies online. And then I'm gonna wait there until my shakies arrives. And then I'd eat my shakies. And there was a time they had this special for like Lenten season. I don't know if they still have it. It had like little scallops. And it was so good. Like that was my favorite.
Also, Shakey's fried chicken is the best. Like everyone's like the Mojos.
You know
I'm like
why
the fucking
they
fried
brine
chicken.
it? They brine their chicken, so their chickens are brine. I don't even know how I know this, but then this is why the chickens and Shakey's are so juicy.
As a food
they
connoisseur,
actually brine their chicken, and if you search online how like chicken meat looks after it's cooked as like a brined chicken or an unbrined chicken, the meat is just so juicy.
This is backed up by research, guys.
I can't believe
He's
that
not
we're talking
lying.
about we're like raving about Shakey's on a traveling episode, but Shakey's is so
No,
like, it's
and there's
comfort
Shakey's in
food.
LA.
What?
Yeah, it's a chain. It's not from here. I think it's from the US.
But do they like serve the same things? Like, what are some of
I
the
think
things that they
so.
don't have in the Shakey's LA?
I honestly don't know because I always just get my cheese. Even
Maybe-
pepperoni crunch
is
doesn't
the-
hit. The cheese is just so good.
Is the chicken the same in LA? Like the vibes of the
No.
chicken in Mojos? No. Oh, the chicken here is
I
so
think
good.
it's the oil that, when I have fried chicken, I want the oil to be as old as possible.
Yeah, because it's like tastier. But I also loved it when they made
It's like an extra coat.
when they
you know?
released the spicy fried chicken. I was like, yes.
Oh my God. Shakey's. This is day 2 of my diet, so I feel like I'm just like thinking about like all the food that I can't eat.
I love Shakey's. I also love like when they had the little like steakhouse whatever thing with like crunch and onions.
Fuck
There's
my
right. I don't think they have that
life.
anymore.
We should order that for our
And then my brother likes
Friendsgiving.
ordering like the little ranch dip or whatever in Shakey's. Okay, let's
getting
go back to
horny.
traveling because we keep talking about Shakey's and that's like
yeah.
not the vibes anymore. Like we need to talk about. Okay, so since you brought up like destinations that you would never go back to, I don't really have anything off the top of my mind. But do you?
What was the question? I wasn't listening.
Like the destinations that you just feel like you never want to go back to,
Never want to go back
and
to.
why?
Wait, I have a list. Do you have a list of places you've been? Not that I'm adding it to my Instagram
I don't have
bio.
a list. I don't have a list of like places I've been. You know, sometimes like I used to get confused when people have so many flags on Instagram. I'm like, are they like of this descent of like every flag? And then I didn't know like some people add the flags of just all the countries they've been to on their bio. I really thought it's
Oh,
like,
where's my list?
well, okay, he has a list. I've never listed down.
A place that I don't want to go back to.
I don't think I have a place I feel like I'd never go back to, but they're just places that are like, I don't sort of think like if I have this many trips in a year that I'd want to go to this place or whatever.
Yeah, I just don't have the time to be traveling. I don't know if I'd go back. No, joke.
I kind of didn't
Oh my
have.
God, this
I
is so
kind of got
hard.
bored in like Malaysia.
I don't think I'd go back to Spain for a while.
But that's different. Okay, it's not like
That's
the
for
country or the
personal
experience.
reasons.
Yeah.
It's just like triggering right now. So probably not Spain. You know what place I really, really, really love? Sweden.
Really?
Like Stockholm. Okay, I have a few friends
I've been there once.
Shout out the lineup, Julia and Maya. But no, like I love their sense of style. Like street style is really big in Sweden, and everyone just dresses well. Like I want to go to a country that people just dress well
There's
on a
also
normal
so many tall
basis,
people in Sweden.
and it makes me feel like I'm tall here. There's like girls like 6'5", and I'm like looking up. The guys are like fucking 7 foot. It's fucking crazy. But Sweden's really a vibe. But again, it's nice when you know a local, you know? You know where I want to go? Mexico City.
That's like I want to go to Mexico also. I've never been to Mexico.
But
and
that's
it's, like,
something
my
I feel like I'd
dream.
go like when I like find someone, like a little,
Yeah.
like a boyfriend, like or a honeymoon situation. So maybe in the next like 20 years.
20.
Baka like Mexico City, still a vibe
20
in
is
20
so
years.
tagal.
Well, at this rate. Okay, for another episode.
For another episode. Oh my God.
But Mexico City is definitely on my bucket list. I'm trying to think of more places. Honestly, I want to go back to New York. I love
You will
New
be
York.
back in New York soon.
Yeah, September.
Tree.
I'm not. Probably. Where else? Where else do I want to go?
What sort of destinations do you feel like you're always back there? That you're sort of like, this is a little embarrassing. Why am I always here? I should discover new places. Because that's
It's
how I feel
giving
about Japan
Korea.
and Korea.
Yeah, but I think it's so easy, and I think there's just,
It's just a quick getaway. It's fun.
and I think now that I've gone twice this year, and I feel like I sort of know how to interact with the locals better in a way to like not piss them off. Because at least in
Where?
Korea, like I feel like
to not piss them off.
I feel like as a tourist in Korea, and this might be a hot take, I don't know. Like everyone sort of says similar things. But I feel like they're just not the nicest to tourists. And I found a way to like not annoy them.
My new Korean friends taught me new things to say that I can't say on the podcast.
Say
I
it.
can't.
Why not?
Hurry on. They're like, you can get.
I think that
They're
we've
like,
already taught them one thing today. I think that would be perfect to like.
no. And they were like, oh my gosh, just say that to any Korean. They'll be so shocked, but like, you'll get them instantly.
But I need to learn that in Tagalog. Joke.
Do you not know it in Tagalog?
No, just say it in English.
Yeah, just say it in English. People can understand it here.
Okay, wait. Is there anything else we should talk about, or should we go to a game? Because
Okay, we
shoot
can actually
starts
go
in
to a
10
game.
minutes. Okay, let's do a
Okay,
game.
we can include that. That like Liam is like stressed because he actually has a shoot after we shoot this podcast, and traffic is horrible. Traffic is the worst. In
It took an hour and a half to get here. It usually takes 15 minutes.
no, I think we're already.
If this is Christmas traffic,
yeah, we're
I'm not leaving the
experiencing the
house.
brunt of the Vermont traffic, like holiday traffic, because it's already fully November. This is why when you're in Manila, you sort of can't schedule things like one after the other, right? Like you really need to sort of give like a few hours in between.
I'm scared.
'Cause you
I'm
never
going to do a
know.
Lipa tomorrow.
Oh my God, Dua Lipa tomorrow is
The
going to be
traffic.
horrible.
Actually, I'm going to tell them to
Like-
leave earlier. I just want
Yeah.
to see her do
Do
that.
you remember when everyone was like stressed
Yeah.
with Bruno Mars?
Oh yeah, everyone missed
Everyone
the
was
concert.
late.
And I also will not get there early. Like I refuse.
The worst thing with Manila traffic for me, like concert wise, was when I watched in Hypen because it was in Clark. And going there wasn't even so bad. It was going home because the roads obviously weren't as
There's one
big.
road for like 100.
Yeah, it wasn't as big. So it was like a huge bottleneck situation. Took hours to just get out of like
Bottleneck.
Clark.
I'm gonna use that word.
yeah, people use that term in like traffic when it's like, it's like a bigger road that's like everyone's leaving and it's like just a small road.
Bottleneck. It's sort of fun to say.
Yeah.
It sort of rolls off the tongue.
Bottleneck. Okay, it's time for a game.
Okay, so for this or that, travel with a big group of friends or travel solo.
I
would
can't
rather-
travel solo.
I can't travel solo. I'm gonna cry.
I really can't. I don't know, but the funny thing is like I
Like
forgot who it
I'm
was.
usually the problem solver,
I have like
but
a
I like to problem solve with people just in
Yeah.
case. And
it's
like,
just the moral support of them being there.
yeah, it helps.
But I have this like friend of mine who always travels alone, and I was like, "How do you do it?" And then he was like, what, you've never done it? He's like, once you've done it at least once, you're always gonna want to keep doing it. But I'm like, I can't imagine myself
I
loving
also
it.
like need people to talk to.
I need a debrief at the end of the day. So like when we were in Seoul, when I was in Seoul, like just a few days ago, we went to this club, like me, like Yuji, my friend Yuji. Every 15 minutes, I drag Yuji to the bathroom to debrief. Like, how can I do that when I'm alone, right? But okay, so
You can talk to
one of the
yourself.
Korean guys was like, next time I should go alone. And I was like, what? He was like, it's a different trip if you go alone.
And we're just gonna leave it at that. Let your minds wander.
I hate that.
Okay. Always travel to new places but never go back to your favorites, or always revisit your favorite places but never visit anywhere new.
Ooh.
Revisit my favorite places. I think
I'm
I've been.
revisit my
I
favorites.
think I've been lucky that I've. Well, I think we both also like living in Europe. It was a lot more accessible to be able to go on mini trips and stuff.
trips, like
And I think because I've been privileged enough to sort of go to many places,
you got to discover places
Yeah.
you love.
and like
So
I
it's hard
want
to
to
never
learn
go
more
anywhere
about
new.
those cultures, meet people there. Like I think there's always something different to do in a city that you've been to multiple times. You just have to open up your mind
Yeah.
to new possibilities.
But you know what? Also, also people have like the YOLO mindset where they're like, YOLO, so I want to go to as much places as possible. My YOLO mindset is like, life is too short to like try
Life
to
is
go
not
to
a
all
real-
these new places. Like, what if you're like, you get older and you don't have the time anymore to go back to places that, you discover that you really, really love.
Yeah.
So when you have the time, just go to places that make you feel
like I don't
amazing
want to go
about
somewhere just to
life.
tick it off like your list. Like for example, living in Switzerland, when I was living in Switzerland, I did a road trip. It was the most iconic road trip to like Cinque Terre and stuff. And one of my friends was like, we have to go to all 5. And I'm like, some of them are not cute. It's the same shit.
Mhm.
Let's focus on one place, explore that, or go to like 3. Because we were driving. The roads are small. All of us were horrible drivers. It was just like not the cutest
Yeah.
situation. And I kept asking her, why do you want to go to all 5? She's like, I want to just say we went to all 5. That's such a bad fucking reason. And like we had like one day there before we moving. Like it's just not logistically, like that is not a good mindset.
Yeah, that's
you know?
another like thing that we didn't really get to touch up on in our like when we were talking before the game. Sometimes like there are like people that just want to visit as much as possible, but like do you really get to sort of experience the place, explore when you don't have the time to really like roam around? It's like, what's the point? So sometimes I'd rather like, just this one trip, like focus on this one city and really fully tap it out before I'd want to visit another city rather than like, only have a week and then I'll need to go to like 3 or 4 cities.
And I
Like, how
find
do you
that
have
when
the time
you're
to see
also like
everything?
not on the biggest time crunch and you just walk around discovering the city, that's when you find like the most interesting
Yeah.
things, the coolest restaurants, the coolest bars, the coolest people. And I feel like I know I've changed my mindset a little where like I don't just want to be a tourist. Like obviously sometimes like it's nice to go to these certain places, but I'm also not going just to take a photo and say, oh, I've been here. You're going to look back and be like, oh my God, I wasted so much time, so much money. So, but it took me a while. I think like when I was younger, I definitely just
Mhm.
wanted to hit the spots. And now I really I want to vibe.
Never lose your luggage again, but always deal with delayed flights, or have on-time flights but lose your luggage every trip.
I've lost my
Whoa.
luggage so many times.
Losing your luggage is stressful.
I was in when I was in Spain for 5 weeks in November. I left my laptop on the way to Paris, and I blamed a failure. It's like one of your friends stole my laptop. It was in the airport, and then
Are you gonna
Don't-
tell about the New York when you accidentally left luggage?
that's next. But I was also like leaving after 5. Basta, I was crying. I left my check-in with all my bags and stuff at security, and so when I was like about to check in to my flight, like go like board,
Mhm.
whatever. I was like, I'm missing my check-in bag. I had to run out, and I saw my bag because there's like a glass window, right? Like where the boarding gate is and where the security is. saw my bag there, and they wouldn't. I had to go out,
Yeah.
check out of immigration, and then go back through the airport, get my suitcase, and go all the way back in. And if I missed my flight, I would have been fucking like screwed. And last situation, I was on the way to New York. I was very grateful I was able to partner with a brand. I'm not going to say it, but like it's very easy to figure out. And the clothes were worth a good, I would say like over $1,000,000. Loaned, obviously. I was so happy to be in New York. It's a 17-hour flight, not the cutest flight. I was exhausted, mentally just trying to like prepare for Fashion Week. I left my suitcase at the like baggage claim,
Mhm.
like my small carry-on. So I think I just have a thing with carry-ons. Like I feel like I should not do that. Go out of the airport, and like Americans are not the most helpful. You go, hey, like I'm 100% sure I left my carry-on by the baggage claim. And they go, we can't do anything. I'm like, I can't be the only person in the history of flying into JFK to be.
To like
Yeah.
leave their hand carry.
But luckily, I found like an amazing Pinoy that worked at the airport, and he like sneakily brought it out. So thank God for Filipinos. I was like crying on the floor. I was like, what the fuck?
I would be super stressed also because it's like loan clothes.
I think I told you. I didn't tell.
Yeah, like Liam literally.
I didn't
like,
tell my
FaceTimed
manager.
me
She's
as
like,
soon as
how's
he
everything?
landed.
And I found out when I had called an Uber, and I was like, at least I didn't leave.
When Liam FaceTimed me, thought he was gonna be like, "Yay, I'm in New York," but no, he was like, "Oh my god, I love it." I was like, "Oh my god." But okay, so I only had like one situation where I lost my luggage. It wasn't
Those are
even
just
my
recent trips. I lose my
fault.
shit all the time.
Our luggage got left behind when we were in Marrakesh. So we just arrived and then got left in the connecting flight because there was one connecting flight because all the international flights, they don't fly directly into Marrakesh. They all fly through like Casablanca. So you have this sort of like domestic flight from Casablanca
Yeah.
to Marrakesh. So that connection from Casablanca to Marrakesh, they left their luggage there. And the thing is, they also weren't helpful at all. And they were just like, we can't find your luggage. I don't know. We don't know. Like they don't know where it got left.
And also,
actually, the
air
person,
tags.
we didn't
Just because
have
you
air tags
just
in our
because you
luggage there
stick
at
a fucking
that
air
time.
tag doesn't mean you're getting your suitcase.
Yeah, you
It
just
tells
know
you where it
is.
is.
No,
But they
then that
don't know
made
where it is
easier.
either.
That made it easier because
Yeah.
like they don't know where it is. So after that trip, we always have air tags now because in case it gets lost in a connection, at least you know where it is. Because the problem was when we got to Marrakesh, they were like, we don't know where it is. They were thinking it was in like, our other stopover. And the person who was able to help us wasn't even like airlines that were in Marrakesh or wherever. It was like the airline here in Manila, the office here. Like the girl was so
God
helpful.
bless Filipinos.
And she was the one who really like called the airports that we stopped in, and then they found it in the Casablanca airport. But we didn't have our suitcases for like over a day. So like our first day in Marrakesh, we were just like, no, we need to go shopping. And obviously there's not that much stores to shop at in Marrakesh. We were buying from like the resort boutique, the one H&M in all of Marrakesh. But yeah, so it's so stressful. So whatever the option is, I just would not want to lose my luggage. I feel like that's what I would choose because I wouldn't wish it on anyone.
Yeah, like delayed flights happen, and when you travel, you sort of just have to get used to that. And like, that's why if I have an event in a different country or work, I always try to come a few days before, just in case. And even like, you could get delayed flight or lost suitcase, but you have time,
Yeah.
to just make sure that
have
you can
time.
like plan.
Have a perfect vacation with poor photos or have great photos but be constantly stressed the whole trip?
Why is this the hardest question? I think this says a
It's
lot
actually
about.
so hard, but I've experienced the first option a lot. Like sometimes the trip is so amazing, I don't even have time to really take content. But I have all the memories
Yeah.
and all the ugly photos.
I think that's also why I don't
of
want
the
to travel
memories.
alone. Like I didn't have like so much New York content because I was like alone most of the time. I love amazing trips, but I also think that part of our job is to take pictures.
Yeah.
And it's also like not even just to post, but also just to remember your trip. And like I love taking memories and stuff. I think there's always ways to like do selfies and stuff, but I do love a good OOTD. And like, yeah, I love Instagram because you're able to like look back on memories and reminisce. So I think I'd rather have good content.
And a poor trip. And a
Not like a
stressful
poor trip, but like it definitely would make the poor trip feel a little better. I think that's like a little like cancel me for it. I don't give a fuck. But at least like I'm not going to a place just to take pictures. But at least if I could get one thing out of it, maybe like I could eat a good pizza
Yeah.
and like take pictures, and that to me is already okay. I know I'm a simple guy, you know.
So, visit your dream destination, but it's always rainy and at the busiest time of the year, or visit a lesser known destination with perfect weather and minimal tourists.
Perfect weather and minimal
same.
tourists.
You know what's really hard to travel when it's raining? It's like I can't. Like getting around is the worst. So I'd visit wherever there's perfect
And also,
weather
I feel like you can't really discover that place well if it's raining.
and crowded.
And people are
Like,
just like in
the
a bad
combination,
mood,
it's the
and it's just
worst.
not the vibes.
And then
also,
no one's like fun anymore.
And I actually really like going to smaller places because I feel like you can learn. It's easy to learn more about like the culture and the style and everything there because it's like a less touristy place.
Yeah.
I know, like whenever I travel, I always try to find the places that are less touristy, and I think I learn more about that culture that way. That's on period.
That's it.
So should we summarize?
What's the summary?
I think I posed the question first. So I think you can summarize.
I need to say
Don't travel.
no,
No.
traveling is actually super fun.
It's super fun. I know I've learned a lot about myself, and I think nowadays, like, I work to travel. Like, that's a very big
I
priority
think
right
people
now.
also should know that like there are many different ways to travel because sometimes people get pressured like, oh, I want to visit everything because I saw this person go do this and do that. But I feel like we're all different types of travelers.
Mhm.
And, you know, if you go to a whatever destination and like whether you're going to 10 different landmarks in one day or you just like went to a cafe nearby and just relaxing, I feel like it's fine. Because
Yeah.
we sort of like travel on our own pace and like we do what we want to do. And I feel like it's not a waste of your time if like you're enjoying it still.
I love that. I think we're gonna end it here. Sorry, I'm like booking
And
my
I'd be
grab,
like, I think we're gonna end it here.
and I also like was not paying attention to anything you said. But like, I think like I trust you enough to like summarize it well. I know. Yeah, it's been like a week for us. Like after my shoot, I'm probably gonna go home and cry. But you know what? That's life. We got to move on. We got to put this out. So I'm hoping you guys learned something. But I think like, I don't know. I don't feel the need to talk about my
About
problems
what?
on here. But I also think that like, it's nice to show that like life isn't perfect and like we still came. We did our job, and now we can go sulk in a corner like at home. You know?
I can't sulk in a corner because I need to shoot also
What are you shooting?
in Aura.
Oof. Good luck. But see, like, that just shows like life isn't perfect and like life is not a real. So I hope you guys hopefully enjoyed this lesson. This episode. This episode.
It's giving school
And we'll see you next week.
for hopefully
Better.
a fun episode.
We'll try harder next week, guys. I promise. Also, Gabby accidentally only ordered one coffee.
No, and that's how
Like
out
shit,
of it I
shit
am.
is just not going well
That's
this
how
week.
out of it I am. We're like have been sharing this one cold brew.
Yeah. And he
No.
found out like
When I got it from
when
the
I got it, he's like, "There's only
Grab,
one." I'm
I was like, and I was
I
like,
really
no,
need
it's
the
not,
coffee
not their
today.
fault. It's my fault. I literally only ordered
I know
one
it's day 2 of my diet, but I might order a Shakey's pizza when I get
to make it.
home.
Yeah, it'll make you feel better.
Just a medium. I used to get like the
Yeah.
extra large. Like that's my way of dieting.
yeah, that's fine.
And cheese, so less toppings, less calories, and maybe no chicken this
yeah,
time. Okay.
that's
Bye,
it.
guys.
Bye.
Fuck my life.